Okay, we're doing problems number 12 and 13 now on the Algebra 2 semester test review. The question says how many real solutions does each equation have? Hint, use the graph. So what they mean by graphing is putting this part of it in the y equals. So the first thing we're going to do is hit y equals. We're going to clear that, and we're going to put in x squared minus 8x plus 13. So x squared minus 8x plus 13. And now I'm going to hit zoom 6 because my calculator's not, the window is different. All right, with this one, the number of times the graph connects to the x-axis, that's how many times, how many real solutions there are. So this one definitely hits twice, so there are 2 real solutions. Now we're going to graph this one. We're going to y equals, and we're going to change the 13 to 16. And graph again. Now this one intersects the x-axis, it looks like at 4, and it looks like only one time. We can zoom in on that, hit zoom, zoom in. We have to move, you see the little blinking thing there? We got to move it to where we want to center the zoom. So I'm going to center this right here, pretty close to 4, and hit enter. And we're going to see it just still looks like it just barely hits it. So if we go to the table, second graph, and we see that when x equals 4, y equals 0, and everything else is the same on either side of that, so 1 is at 3, and 1 is at 5, and 4 is at 2, and 4 is at 6, that tells us that that is the vertex, and that is only one real solution because that's the only place that that intersects the x-axis. Now this one, I'm going to put in x squared minus 8x plus 19, so I'm going to hit y equals. Let me go to 19. And now since I changed my window when I zoomed, I'm going to zoom 6 this one. And you'll see this one never touches the x-axis, so it has no real solutions. And that's how we do that. 13 is another quadratic equation written in a different form called the vertex form. So what we need to do here is solve this equation and write the solutions in the form a plus bi. So we're going to take the square root of both sides, remembering that when we take the square root of both sides to solve, we have to do a plus or minus on one side. So we have the square root of x minus 6 squared, just leaves me x minus 6. And this equals plus or minus the square root of negative 5, which we know the square root of negative 5 is just I square roots of 5 because the negative inside the square root comes out as an I. So when I add 6 to both sides, I get x equals 6 plus or minus I square roots of 5. And this is my answer for number 13. Now we're changing to exponential terms here, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video with these 2 quadratics. And that's the answer to the video for number 12 and 13 on the Algebra 2 semester test review.